Oh, how can I explain the Chetco hike? I guess the only way I can sort of put it in perspective in my life is I've run marathons, I've done adventure races, I've ridden 150 miles on a bike in a day, and I have never felt more trashed by the end of the day walking in on this hike. It was up, it was down, it was blazing hot, all with a 60, 70, 80 pound pack on your back. And you start getting close to the river and you think you're there, you're so close, and then you realize you've got about 3 more miles to go, which we have appropriately named the torture zone because you can see camp, but it's so close but yet so far. So all I can tell you is you really need and really want this kind of torture in your life to take the walk in. This is not a nature walk, this is not a nature trail, this is a hard, epic trek in. But I will tell you, it's all worth it in the end. If you're the type of person who likes this type of an adventure, this is really where you need to go. The rewards are great, the river is beautiful, the guides are terrific, and really there's no more of a better physical, rewarding, natural experience than you will have on the Chetco. I mean, we've been here 3-4 days now. I've not seen another human being. We have not even seen another airplane. The water is indescribable. The beauty is indescribable. The rapids are tough. They come frequently. And you know, you really need to have your act together if you're going to come out here and attempt this trip. But again, I highly, highly recommend it.
You're one of those folks that you've heard about the Chetco and you say, well, it can't be that difficult, or I can easily do that. It can't be that hard. You know, I used to be just like you until I came to the Chetco. I've done some big climbs, a lot of river trips, some long backpack trips, and then I came to the Chetco. And now I grade all my trips on the Chetco scale of toughness. You say, hey, it's only 10 miles. It's not just the 10 miles. You've got to combine that with the heavy backpacks, a difficult trail conditions with a lot of gravel, a lot of loose rock, very little shade, and the last part of the hike in is a steep decline into the canyon with loose rock. But when you get there, you are rewarded with this great view of the canyon and the water. So it's certainly worth the effort, but it doesn't come easy. So you know, if you are still a non-believer, then my best advice to you is to come walk the walk and get acquainted with the Chetco scale of toughness, and we'll see how you do.
It's actually the great thing about the Chetco is there's a lot of variety on the rapids, but you know, there'll be rocks, there'll be drops, there'll be turns, a lot of beautiful circuitous routes through the rocks that are very technical, others that are just very hard charging whitewater, and you're just hanging on and trying to stay in the boat, trying not to get slammed into the rocks. Just again, a beautiful experience and a really large amount of variety on the trip.
What should somebody do to prepare for this trip?
Ooh, well, I think first and foremost, you need to make sure you're the type of person who really wants a rugged, rough adventure trip. So I know people who are in plenty of good shape and can run a long time and are fit, but they're not going to enjoy this trip and it's not going to be right for this trip. But what I personally did, along with my normal fitness routine, I threw a 70-pound pack on my back and spent a lot of time walking up hills and down hills and just getting my body ready for it. And I will tell you this, I was not ready. I just was not ready. Well, the water, again, is just, it's indescribable, the beautiful colors, the clarity. Again, you can see 50, 60 feet down into the water, or you can be in 3 feet of water and you really can't tell the difference because the water is so clear, and there are so many different beautiful shades of water, and not only the water, but all the different rocks you go through along the way will bring out different colors. There's reds, there's whites, there's greens, and just a huge variety. And you know, I've never seen more pristine, beautiful water in really any place on earth. You know, the solitude you get out here in the true wilderness experience is, again, like nothing else I've ever seen. There have been other wilderness raft trips that I have been on, but you see people, you see other guides, and you know, they're really pretty crowded because they're very popular locations and they're very easy to get to. The remoteness of this area, the very tough hike in, and the difficulty of all the water make this not your normal trip. So there are essentially there are very few guides that do this trip, and it leads to a very remote wilderness that, again, you're not going to experience other people. You're not going to see airplanes. You're not going to see campsites even that have been used very hard. It's all completely natural.